Speed's presentation of the NASCAR Toyota All-Star Showdown is brought to you by Toyota, moving forward. 96 laps complete, 4 laps until the competition yellow as we ride along with Brett Thompson in 14th place.
And speaking of Toyota, Mike, with Skinner's victory today at Martinsville, I think that locked up the Manufacturers Championship for them again this year.
Well done. 3 laps, we'll expect the caution. Mike Duncan, Brian Eichler, Matt Kovaluk, and Peyton Sellers has now moved to 4th. Hot battle here for 9th place. Or excuse me, for 13th place, John Salemi and Brett Thompson. There is Duncan, and you see he's all alone. He has stepped it out on Brian Eichler by about 8 car lengths.
That might be the world's biggest 9 I ever saw on a race car.
You can read it.
It's number 9 for sure. Engine.
4th place, Peyton Sellers trying to hold off Joey Logano in the 20. Caution. That'll be it. That'll be the competition yellow, the first of 2 that we will have tonight.
Well, I know the 9 won that segment, but I tell you a guy that I was impressed with was 16, Eichler. He ran that car sideways that whole 100 laps. I didn't think his tires would hold up long enough for him to be where he is, but he pulled it off.
And Mike David from the last row came to 13th. Mike Olson came from 40th to 16th in that run.
I hope that's not what that guy sees, what I see on my screen there.
That oil?
Pretty cloudy.
Yeah. While we were in break, NASCAR had the Sean Case incident under review, having a look at the contact that was made that put the leader out of the race from Moses Smith. Here's Jim.
Well, guys, Brian Eichler's crew is very happy with the race car. Craig Robbins is his crew chief, a veteran of the West Coast, and of course a chassis builder in his day, and certainly has made this team work. 3 wins this season, but these guys are worried about tightening the car up a little bit, and it's almost a universal phrase on the pit road here as we're checking with crew chiefs down here. What are you going to change? We got to tighten the car up just a bit, but this is the same car they won with on July 4th. They're very happy with the race car at this point. Just want to tighten up just a little bit, so we'll see if that is the theme down here in this first break.
Now, even though this will be an extended pit stop, they'll have about 7 minutes to get their work done. Only 4 men are allowed over the wall, and here's a list of what they're allowed to do.
Plenty of time for what you can do to these cars. Most important change, 4 fresh tires.
Basically, what you cannot do is lift the hood or the deck lid and do any work underneath without the approval of an official.
Similar to the rules for the All-Star race at Charlotte. Things that you can do on a normal pit stop pretty much is what you're allowed to do.
Puts a lot of pressure on the crews, the crew chief, to get it right, because the last major adjustments that were made to these cars were before the time trials, before qualifying. And they haven't been able to mess with them very much since. This is the first time they're going to be able to do much of anything, and it still isn't a whole lot.
You know, it's what makes racing, our kind of racing, fun. It's up to the driver has got to be able to relate to the team, to the crew chief, what he needs in the race car, what the car's doing, what he suggests that they do to the car to make it better for him. He's the guy driving the thing. He's the onboard computer.
Duncan, the leader, he'll be the first guy into the pits, and nobody can work on their cars until every car is stopped. Nice run for Greg Pursley, who came out of 2nd in the last chance qualifying race last night. Here's his number 77. He's raced his way up to 25th position. How about those flames?
They are all over the place.
We've been waiting for you to see that car.
That car is on fire.
And he won the Super Late Model 150, beating Rip Michaels last night in one of the best races they've seen here at Irwindale in a long time.
Well, it wasn't for lack of flames, I can tell you that. Isn't it funny how flames have come on? I mean, you know, when we first started, who was the first guy we saw with flames? Jeff Gordon, maybe?
Yes.
And, you know, that had...
When we started doing NASCAR on
prominent,
Fox.
yeah, in 2001. Yeah. Since then, over the last 7 years, every car has a little bit of a flame on them somewhere.
Well, you need to take some credit for that, because you have pointed out that if you put flames on the car, it's faster.
It's always faster. Jeff's is always faster.
All right, when all the cars are stopped, the starter will wave a flag. There's the green flag. That means work can commence.
I like
and they'll have about 7 minutes to get that done. Then they'll line them back up again.
Greg Pursley's number 77. He's won here 25 times. Jim?
Well, guys, Moses Smith ran clean all season long in the West Series, but has been the story thus far with Sean Case, the race leader. What did happen, in your opinion, Moses?
You know, I think it was just a misjudgment, maybe both on the 44 and myself. You know, I came through, I knew he was the leader, and I thought I gave him plenty of room. I guess I was a little bit quicker on the exit there, and, you know, I feel real bad that the 44 car and I got together. But, you know, I think we're all just real hungry out here trying to get through tonight.
Now, Moses, you guys came in under caution earlier to make an adjustment. How was your car handling at the time where you got involved with the 44?
You know, we've been adjusting on the car all night, and it's finally starting to come around. And, you know, I think we're going to have a good car for this next segment of 100 laps. I mean, the Haas Pool Products crew and the BMR team has been really just hustling on this thing tonight.
Thanks, Moses. Now down to Ralph.
Well, we're waiting to work our way in here. Mike Duncan's getting a fresh drink. They're getting ready to put left side tires on. Mike, how is your car, and what kind of changes are you going to make?
Well, I tell you, it's real good. Obviously, we're up front. The car's a little bit free coming off, but you know, talking with my crew chief, I'm almost afraid to make a change. He's going to make a little change. I just feel like the car is about as neutral as we can get it. The 44 was definitely fast. Too bad that happened to him, but hopefully we can do it. This is a good spot to be in right now at this time of the race.
Well, Sean Case set a blistering pace for the first 100 laps. Do you think the second 100 will be as quick?
I don't see how it could be any different. I mean, I know the pace they would have set. I'm going to push this thing as hard as I can push it without abusing it. I think that's what you got to do, because those other guys are going to make adjustments. They're going to be right up my tail. You know, I got to go.
Jim?
Down here with David May, who has made his way into the top 10, and you avoided a big one, David. What was the maneuvering on the 21 car? Looks like you drove very quickly through a crash on the backstretch.
Yeah, at the beginning of the race, we got held up in some traffic, just trying to bide our time. But the Golden Gate Bay Meat Company Chevy was going good there at the end. The longer we went, the better the car got. So I think we moved our way up into the top 10 somewhere. Hopefully this next 100 get up in the top 5 and then go racing.
I talked to your crew chief before the race, Steve Portengane. He said the first 50 laps are critical. That's what we'll gauge for our final 50. What are your thoughts now?
Yeah, no, that's what we need to work on. Right now, we weren't very good the first 50. The second 50, the thing really came alive. So that's what we're working on, making some changes right now. Steve's one of the best in the business, so he'll get this thing going good the first 50 laps, so we got some at the end there.
They certainly want to put on a good show for the boss as well. Richard Childress called them and wished them well earlier today. This is the development team for Childress Racing. Ralph?
Brian Eichler's in his car getting ready to go. Brian, what kind of adjustments did you make?
You know, we started the run out a little bit, a little on the free side, so we put a little spring rubber in the left rear, and hopefully we'll be tight enough to get this NASCAR and make your lane.
You were driving pretty aggressively in that first 100. Do you plan to go just as hard this next 100?
Yeah, you know, we started off strong, just tried to run it hard. We burned up that right rear tire pretty good at the end there, a little too sideways, so hopefully this adjustment will fix it and we can stay up there and not abuse the car so much.
Jim?
Down here, the Mike Johnson. He won last night's qualifier, and he's also won the big one, the Showdown, a couple years back. And I got to wonder, Mike, a lot of these guys only got qualifying to get these cars set, then they were impounded. Did the 50-lapper last night help you at all to this point?
Yeah, it's doing what I expected it to do. Did the same last night. Problem is we're only limited to certain adjustments, and one adjustment I probably need we're not allowed to do. So we're going to do the best we can, dial it in a little bit more, keep the fenders on it, and maybe we can get up front a little bit more.
Certainly trying to get his way to the front, guys, from 21st. Ralph?
Well, last year's winner, Matt Koblik, you're sitting third after the first 100. How happy are you with that?
Yeah, I mean, the car's really not performing the way we need it to right now. I mean, we made some adjustments here to try and free it up a little bit in the middle of the corner. We get that out of it, and it's going to be lights out. I mean, we're just a little too tight in the middle. I'm a little late picking up the gas, and hopefully these adjustments here, which I think they will, should straighten that out, and we're going to be pretty good.
They were talking earlier about how you tend to go differently than what you did the year prior when you were here. How different is your race setup right now compared to what you won with here last year?
Well, you know, I'm just trying to go on the racetrack where other guys aren't. You know, if I'm going to pass somebody, it's going to be down low. And the car is working pretty good down there, where I think once I get it freed up a little when I'm running up top, it's going to help it a little down low, and I'll be able to make some headway there. I mean, obviously we don't have very far to go, but we don't want to drop back at all. And this last 100-lap segment here, we'll see what these adjustments do. Then we'll make our final adjustment, see if we went the right direction.